Good morning. My name is Lynn Cullens, Executive Director of the Mountain Lion Foundation and co-petitioner. We are confident that we can rely upon, it's not moving. Where am I hitting? Somebody? There we go. Okay, sorry about that. We're confident that we can rely upon the expertise of the California Department of Fish and Wildlife to carry out a thorough review of this petition. Mountain lions roamed California for hundreds of thousands of years before the arrival of Europeans. The Wachumni people of Central California painted this likeness of a lion as part of their ceremonies hundreds of years ago. Today, we have come to embrace the lion's contribution to biodiversity, and the vast majority of Californians support efforts to ensure the survival of the state's apex predator. We at the Mountain Lion Foundation joined this effort because we are certain that current California law does not ensure that mountain lions can remain at existing population levels as California's human population continues to grow. Mountain lions have a profound impact on ecosystems, including a positive effect on the survival of other threatened and endangered species. Because the presence of mountain lions improves biodiversity, humans rely on their continued presence as well. Lack of connectivity between subpopulations is the greatest threat to the survival of California mountain lions. Now, here is a brief reminder of the area which is outlined for inclusion in the listing. The area enclosed to the west and south of the solid black line dividing the state is defined in the petition as an ecologically significant unit. The colorful layers that are behind the black line represent genetically defined subpopulations of mountain lions, and the most critically at-risk subpopulations are these in the Santa Monica and Santa Ana Mountains. The department has already acknowledged that these populations are sensitive by establishing a revised stepwise depredation permitting process within the Santa Monica and Santa Ana lions, and we appreciate that designation. But that policy alone will not guarantee the survival of these subpopulations because they rely upon lions to come in from adjacent subpopulations to improve genetic diversity. In order to protect the most threatened lions, we believe that we must also ensure that nearby lions can cross the boundaries that humans have created. That protection depends on good policy decisions, from limiting take to consideration of alternative forms of mitigation under the California Environmental Quality Act. Thus, while today is simply the beginning of this process, we are hopeful that you will be persuaded that the petition action is warranted. We look forward to what follows as a new and collaborative process for ensuring that California's mountain lions are conserved for their sake and for our own. Thank you.
Thank you, Lynn. Sergey, we call the other speakers up, please? And again, 1 minute each, please. And I would encourage you, if you're want to repeat something that's been said before, that you just endorse the speaker before you.
Pamela Flick, Paul Weekland, Bill Gaines, Erica Senko, Kirk Wilbur, Roy Griffith, Austin Rankin, Brandon Cummings, Caitlin Shiber, Winston Vickers, Shawn Ogami, Madeline Giordano, Harrison Robero, Noelle Kramer, and Dennis Fox.
Great, thank you. Please. Welcome.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Pamela Flick, Senior California Representative with Defenders of Wildlife. Defenders generally supports the petition to list Southern California's Central Coast Evolutionarily Significant Unit of mountain lions in California under CESA. We believe that the petition has made a compelling case for the Santa Ana Mountains and Central Coast South populations, which are in dire condition, and the San Gabriel's and San Bernardino Mountains and Central Coast North populations, which are in very poor condition and declining. These four populations populations in particular are suffering from low genetic diversity, low population size, and significant threats from habitat fragmentation and degradation and human-caused threats. As documented in the petition and based on our own experience, California's existing regulatory structure has failed these populations. CESA protection and its fully mitigated requirement is critical for the ongoing survival of these populations by focusing on keeping habitat connected and in better shape for these wide-ranging apex predators. At a time when the UN is documenting widespread biodiversity loss, California needs to focus on keeping these keystone species like mountain lions from disappearing from large portions of their range. For these reasons, we support the petition. Thank you.
Commissioners, Paul Weekland. I'd like to remind Commissioner Daniel Richards. Everyone should know about that deal, huh? You cut me off before. So now you're given another reprieve, another missed deadline. We understand from the state legislature that you're going to be mandated to disclose accurate costs of department activities by March of 2020. It's creeping up on you. You better be ready for that one. It's only been 10 years that you've been allowed to skirt having an audit. Now, this thing here, my dad used to take me mountain hunting, lion hunting when I was a kid, and he whimpered the day that they closed mountain lion hunting in California. First time I ever saw that. How many states still allow mountain lion hunting? They are abundant beyond your beliefs. They are so elusive. If you've ever been hiking and running through the woods, I can guarantee you, you walked right by one and didn't even know it.
President Sklar, Commissioners, Department staff, Roy Griffith, speaking on behalf of the California Rifle and Pistol Association. We're here basically to support the extension, giving the department as much time as possible to deal with this very complex measure, but mostly to highlight the importance of why we're here today talking about mountain lions. This is a situation that has not been caused by licensed hunters in California. This has been caused by urban sprawl and highway roadways. Dr. Schilling spoke earlier about possible bills and things we can do to mitigate this. There's a bill before the legislature right now that would provide expert testimony and data to provide wildlife crossings and corridors, which is critical for the wildlife migration. Last year, Governor Brown had a bill to get $60 million augmentation to the department, critical money needed by the department. There was actually questions during that bill whether or not the public can understand the nexus between wildlife and motor vehicles. So it's clearly, every chance we get to ring the bell and talk about the nexus between wildlife and motor vehicles and highways, it's important we do so. Thank you, sir.
I have actually 2 articles and 10 copies of each for the commission. And they are all labeled as Article 1 and Article 2, just for my short speech here. Okay. My name is Austin Rankin. I'm here representing myself as well as several concerned conservationists, citizens, and sportsmen of California regarding the proposal to list mountain lions under the California Endangered Species Act. Mountain lions have thrived in our state for the last 3 decades without any management in place due to Prop 17 passed in 1990. The petition before you is based off a study which is widely regarded in the scientific world as nothing more than uncertain. Population viability analysis provides insight, not fact. I would like to read an excerpt from Article 1 regarding the actual model of study itself. Uncertainty is just about the only certainty in population viability analysis. This is from Stephen Bessinger. He co-authored a book between him and an author named McCullough in 2002 on population viability analysis through the University of Pennsylvania. In the last paragraph of the highlighted sections on page 5, which you have, it clearly shows how inaccurate this model of study truly is. This is a quote from the article. Even when the data and our understanding of the study systems are excellent, our ability to make accurate predictions into the future will always be limited by our ignorance of future conditions.
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to cut you short. Your time is up, but we have both articles and we will read them. I do recommend in the future that if people have articles or things they'd like us to read, that you email them into the staff, and so we have them ahead of time so we can read them before you
He
get
did say that everybody would read them and I'd have a chance.
Yeah.
It's only about a 2-minute speech, but thank you. You have the information.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners, for the opportunity to speak. I'm Winston Vickers. I'm a wildlife research veterinarian at UC Davis at the Wildlife Health Center, and I've been doing mountain lion research for 17 years in California. I'm here simply for myself to emphasize to the commission that the science that is out there on mountain lions in California is quite extensive. Much of it has been generated by the department and partners and collaborators at our major universities and has been put out there in multiple peer-reviewed publications. And I would urge you to allow the department or ask the department to do a full review of the petition based on the science.
Thank you, sir. Next speaker, please.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Caitlin Shiber, and I'm a third-year law student at UC Hastings. I am here today to urge the Commission to list the mountain lion as a threatened or endangered species under the California Endangered Species Act. Mountain lions in Southern California and along the Central Coast are in trouble. Both extreme isolation and high mortality rates caused by people are driving these populations to extinction. If the mountain lion becomes listed under CESA, protections for the species would be heightened by providing a clear legal mandate for state and local authorities to manage threats to the species. Current legal protections for the mountain lion are not enough under Prop 117. Again, I urge you to take action to list the mountain lion as threatened or endangered under CESA. Thank you for your time, and thank you for taking up this important issue.
Thank you.
Good morning, and thank you for having me speak. My name is Shawn Ogami. I studied conservation ecology at Pitzer College, and I would like to endorse the two speakers that came before me and underscore the importance of protecting wildlife patches and the ability for species to migrate between them. Isolated patches lead to lowered biodiversity, which leads to genetic diversity, which leads to lower fitness and difficulty surviving. It also causes difficulty for one patch to supplement another's population in the event of a disaster or disease. So yeah, having CESA protection would allow us to protect the mountain lions generally and the biodiversity that is critical to their survival. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Madeline Giordano. I'm a biologist with a master's degree in ecology and a California native. I'm here today to speak about the importance of mountain lion conservation here in California and support the petition and listing of the mountain lion under CESA. While working as a naturalist for East Bay Regional Park District, I experienced firsthand the awe and inspiration, the mere possibility of a glance at such a majestic and iconic species sparked in our visitors, both young and old alike. As an environmental educator, it breaks my heart to envision the possibility of interpreting our environment to curious minds through the lens of extirpated or extinct species. As an ecologist, I'm not only concerned with the survival of this individual species, but with the effects of population reductions or extirpations on an apex predator would have on ecosystem dynamics. These animals play a pivotal role in maintaining biodiversity, stability, and overall function of ecosystems they have evolved in. Improving genetic diversity within fragmented populations of mountain lions by improving habitat connectivity is the best way to ensure the species maintains a healthy, resilient population that's able to persist into the future. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Good morning, Commission. Harrison Robero, wildlife advocate from Oakland. I'd urge you to move quickly with the petition to list the mountain lion under CESA. And having worked at a state park in the Orange Coast District, Crystal Cove, that used to have mountain lions, I can attest to it being a real loss to the public imagination and the ecosystem and not having them any longer. And I remember growing up hearing stories of my father mountain biking and seeing mountain lions and just being filled with awe as a young kid. He could have been mistaken. He probably saw a bobcat. He's from Brazil. Anyway, urge you to move quickly with this petition, and thank you for your time. Thank you.
Good morning. Brendan Cummings with the Center for Biological Diversity. First off, while we would love to see this petition processed as expeditiously as possible, we are of course aware, as having written it, of some of the complexity of the issues, and so we do not object to the 30-day extension of time that the department has requested. However, as you've seen by the great public interest to talk today on an issue that's only on the consent calendar, we think it would be incredibly helpful if the commission stuck to the schedule listed on the document with receipt of the petition in the December meeting and decision on the February meeting, and make publicly available the timing, the date and location of that February meeting as soon as possible so people can plan accordingly. Lastly, in your packet, there is information stating that CESA listing is incompatible with Prop 117. I'd call attention to page 69 and 70 of our petition, which addresses this issue. And the key point is Prop 117 says it is to be liberally construed to affect its conservation purposes and to affect its purposes. And those purposes throughout the documents talk about conservation and include explicitly the protection of wildlife corridors. So we do not see any conflict. Thank you.
Commissioners, members of the department, my name is Bill Gaines, today representing California Deer Association, Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, California Waterfowl, and other wildlife conservation groups on this. Urban development and roads has substantially isolated and segregated our habitats. The only way that true ecosystem balance could be reached is if these animals have the ability to move freely from habitat to habitat. They don't anymore. So as such, wildlife must be managed in these segregated habitats, especially predators. Listing the mountain lion will extremely limit the ability of wildlife managers to manage the species. Mountain lions already enjoy the most powerful protections possible in California via the vote of the people and the special species status that they have. This Fish and Game Commission couldn't even remove them from that listing if they wanted to and if it was highly warranted. Mature lions occupy the most preferred habitats, forcing the young lions into these fringe habitats. There's going to be problems that occur as a result of that. It is incredibly important that the state maintain the ability to manage these lions via depredation and other things in these problem areas if we are to protect our species and to protect the people that have difficulties with public safety. Thank you.
Commissioners, my name is Kirk Wilbur. I'm with the California Cattlemen's Association. At this early phase, we wanted to tee up a legal concern we have with the petition. There's some more thorough comments on that in your binder from CCA and the Farm Bureau Federation. Simply put, the petitioned action listing mountain lions as threatened under CESA is illegal under California law. Proposition 117 has a section now codified at 4800D of the Fish and Game Code that states neither the Commission nor the Department shall adopt any regulation that conflicts or supersedes any portion of Proposition 117. At least 4 provisions of Proposition 117 would be violated by CESA protection of mountain lions. That's the issuance of take permits by the department. That's the issuance of oral authorizations for take by the department. That's targeted take of specific individual mountain lions rather than incidental take. And that is also the ability for folks to immediately take mountain lions caught in the act of depredating livestock or domestic animals. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. Noelle Kramer with the California Farm Bureau Federation. I won't touch on the legal issue. Instead, I'll talk about the impact that mountain lions have on livestock producers in California. So over the last 3 years of data that we have on the coastal counties from San Diego up to San Mateo, 140 depredation permits were issued. Those are only issued when it is found that a mountain lion has killed domestic livestock or pets. And so it's clear that mountain lions cause problems for livestock producers. In fact, they're the #2 predator of cattle and calves and generally the #3 predator of sheep and lambs in California. It's also important to recognize that oftentimes folks will come up and testify to the fact that that predator loss to livestock is a very small percentage on the overall numbers of livestock lost. However, it's important to recognize that only a small percentage of operations are actually impacted by predators. So those numbers are focused and have a very real impact on those farms and ranches that are impacted by predators. Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. Erica Senko with the California Wool Growers Association, representing all the sheep producers throughout the state. We concur with the comments provided today by California Cattlemen's Association and the California Farm Bureau Federation. We also refer you to our comment letter submitted, which further details the impact of this predator on our industry. We also do object to the petition, as we do question legality as whether or not it violates Prop 117. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other public speakers? Please come up.
Good morning. I'm Dennis Fox. 3 things. Proposition 117 was an unethical fundraising, using the mountain lion as a poster child. Then the head of it embezzled the funds, and I'm not surprised. Second, my wife's uncle, Cliff Hudson's ranch is now Bitter Creek Refuge. They have condors there, an actual thing, and they're eaten by the mountain lions 3 times, 3 days. Third, I would suggest you take a look at a UCLA study on the mountain lions eating middle management and the rodent explosion in the Santa Monica's, which has resulted in hantavirus and plague. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other speakers? Seeing none, I'll close that. Our only actions today are to receive this and to decide whether or not we want to give the department 30 more days to work on it. Sure. Will you go ahead, please? Does somebody want to move it? It's better if the chair doesn't make the motion in general. So.
Sure. I move that we receive a petition to list the mountain lion and that we approve the department's request for a 30-day extension to review the petition to list the mountain lion.
Second. Motion made by Commissioner Murray, seconded by Commissioner Burns. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously.